Hi everyone, I'm here today to just give you a quick update on RefME. A few people have been asking about it, and I just want to run people through some of the basic things that you need to know how to do on the application. So I'm already logged in. I'm not going to go through that process because it is so easy to just either connect via Google, Facebook, or with an email address. But this is the page that you'll come into, and you'll set up a project. So you can add your projects over on the left hand side here. You can just enter anything as the title, but make sure that your title is clear. I'll tell you why in a minute, because it's very important that it's very, very clear to be able to find, and very easy. You can call it Health Law Assignment 1 or Business Economics Assignment 1, but give it a really clear name. The second thing is over here we've got the style of citation. So I've got it on Harvard at the moment, but if your teacher asks for a particular style of referencing, this is where you search it, and you can see even within Harvard there is probably about 60 different referencing styles that relate to different universities. So if your teacher hasn't specified one, I would say pick the most popular that RefME recommends. This is the import one. We're not going to do that just yet. You can import RIS files, but you don't need to know how to do that just yet. And this is where we export. So when you have references, when we finish this reference list, I'm going to go through how to export. And this is where we create references. I'll get to that in a second. The last thing I want to show you here is sharing a project. So if you type in the address of someone that you know is also on RefME, you can actually send a collaboration email so that you can collaborate and work together on a project so that you don't double up on references. Okay, so let's get to the important part, creating a reference. So on the computer, probably the most efficient ways of creating references is through websites. So if you are on a website such as this one, the Law Handbook, the simple way, the way that we used to reference in RefME was to copy the URL and paste it into RefME and let it do its thing. And once it created part of the reference, you needed to also make sure you entered the author of the web page, which in this case, or you get the last updated, which is really important, August 24th, 2015. And it's made by the Fitzroy Legal Service Incorporated. You can see down here in the bottom left. So you change this to organisation and Fitzroy Legal Incorporated. You've got the title of the web page, it's got the date published, so it's got all the information there, and you just click save. Now that used to be the way that we did it, and it was fine, and I don't think many people minded doing that. You got your end of text reference and you got your little in-text citation, which I'll talk about a bit more in this video too, which goes next to the reference material when you've used it in your assignment. But I just want to point out a cool little thing that is making its way into most people's use of this application, and it's the little web clipper up here. So what this does is I can actually reference the website while I'm still on it. And why is this useful? Well, this is useful because when you have to find information like, the author or the organizer, you can stay on the page and search, and this little application will stay open up in the top right hand corner. So when you open this, the first thing you do is select your project. Now you have to log into this, of course, but once you log in, you can just select your project, and then it'll actually create the reference for you. All right. So here's all the information here. Tells you when it's accessed, available at, when it was created. It's got all the information there that you need. So you just go add to project, it'll save it, and it'll say reference saved. Now you can just go to your project from there if you want, but if you've already got RefME open like me, you can see there that it's been created straight away. So So you can use the web clipper when you're using a lot of websites on the computer to really create the full reference straight away, which is really handy. Now, the other thing you can do is if this was a PDF, such as this here, and I'll show you how to reference this in a second, but if it was a PDF like this and you use the web clipper, what the web clipper will do in most cases, it might go against me, but in most cases what it will do is actually reference this URL up the top here. So you can see, so it's got the title and it's got the website, but it hasn't got the authors and it hasn't got the fact that it's a journal. It's actually referencing it as a website. So what you need to do is actually click the little pencil in the square there to go into edit the reference over here, and you need to change it to a journal article, and you need to put in the authors, which are here at the top. Susie Badir, Karen Cameron. Now these names are coming up because I've already put this in as a test, but you just put in the authors' names. Now the way I'm going from box to box there is to press tab. So if I'm in this box and I finish typing, I press tab and it goes to the second box. You've got the title of the article. Make sure that it's there in full. So atrial fibrillation. It's got the date published, which is fantastic. It's figured out the date published. Now the name of the journal here, you can see it's the Can't Journal, so we call it the Can't Journal, which is a health journal from Canada. It's got the volume number there, so we just put the volume number of 25, the issue number of 3, and the page range, well, we just look at the page number in the bottom left, 22 down to 27. So we put 22 to 27. And then we click save. And then what that will do is change that reference from a website into an actual journal article, which is what it is. It's not a website. It's actually an article, and you can see there it is now. So it's very quick, this web clipper, at actually adding the reference into the project that you want to add it into. So the web clipper is a very useful thing. Where do you find it? Well, you go to the Chrome Web Store. As far as I'm aware, it's only available as an add-on for Safari and Chrome. I'm not so sure about Firefox. But once you come to the Chrome Web Store, you just type in RefME, and the RefME web clipper is here. And since I've already got it, I can't do much, but I can. Usually you will just add it to Chrome. So you just click add to Chrome, and then a little box will come up saying, are you sure you want to add this extension? And you add the extension, and then it will come up. So very easy to add to your PC or your MacBook, and very easy to use. Okay, so that's websites. Now what about books? What if I'm on the computer and I've got a textbook that I'm using, but my phone's dead, or I can't use my phone to scan the barcode like I would usually? Well, what you can do is the little code that's on the barcode is called an ISBN. So you can see here it's got search by title, author, ISBN, DOI, or URL. So if you've got the barcode on the book or on the PDF, if you can find the ISBN, you can just punch it straight in here. So the one on this textbook, 7421646118, click search, and you can see there it's come up with everything that we need from this textbook. So we've got Johnny Allen, William O'Toole, and Robert Harris, and Ian McDonald is the editor, but it hasn't come up as the editor, which is, well, it's a bit strange. But it's come up with the edition, the fifth edition, when it was published, 2010. It's come up with all the information that you need to make a complete reference. Click save, and that reference will get added as well. Now the other thing we can use, create reference, is in a lot of journals they have this great little cataloging number called a DOI as well. Now in some of the library materials you'll find this, in some you won't. So on this warfarin one there isn't a DOI, but the way I did that was to enter it manually with the web clipper, which is really handy. But this one here has a DOI. You can see down the bottom here, DOI. So what we do is just copy that. So I'll right click and copy, come back to RefME and paste it and search. Now the DOI is again a unique number, so it comes up with the author, the title of the article, the date it was published, the name of the journal it comes from, the volume number, the issue number, all the things that you could need. You click save and you're done. Alright? Now the other thing you can do with the library catalogue while we're on that is over here you can actually click cite and it will come up with a list of citations here in different styles. So you can copy and paste this here to your Word document or your assignment. But as you can see here, sometimes with the library's referencing, it doesn't actually have the authors of the journal article, which is the most important part. So sometimes this will let you down as well, and you need to actually look at the article for these things. Now, regardless of having to go searching for this information, RefME will save you a heap of time in the formatting process. So really, if anyone here needs referencing, they should be looking at this. I am working on making it available for students because we've been having some problems in the library and on other computers in the Institute for students. So I'm looking at trying to fix that. On your personal computers it should work, but on the Institute computers we're still having some issues with letting it work, and I am working on that. Trust me, I am working with IT on getting that sorted so that you can use this software on the Institute computers. Now that you've created your reference list, how do you actually get it into your document? Well, there's a number of ways. The first way is to copy and paste. So it will give you your bibliography, which we call the end of text reference list, and it will also give you a list of citations, quotes, and annotations. So if you've quoted something directly, you can put it in and it will show you the direct quote there and how it should be formatted. And this will also show you can just see this little bit here that I've highlighted. That is your in-text reference. So it will give you everything that you need. You can just go select all and then copy, come to a Word document and paste it and go from there and format it and change it in the way that you need. So change bibliography to reference list and then go about putting in your in-text references, which I'll get to in a sec. But another cool way to do this is to actually just export it as a Word document automatically. So if you click on the Word symbol, you can't see it because my little video down the bottom is blocking it. But what it's done is, I'll just do it again. When I click the Word symbol, it will actually download the reference list. And here it is. So it'll give me the bibliography. And it won't give me the annotations, which is sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I think it's just a bit of a bug with the application at the moment. But this is your bibliography, your end of text reference list, and then you can just copy and paste that into your actual assignment and format it the way you need to. Now, that's exporting, then it's all done. But what about the in-text referencing? Now, that's probably the most important part of this program and how to use it and how it gets used. Now, I'm just going to do a brief example of this. Let's say you're doing your nursing assignment or your business assignment or your IT assignment or whatever you're doing, and you're typing along, blah, 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 and then you've used a piece of reference material and you're like, oh, okay, so I need to put an in-text reference, so I need to put a bracket, I need to put the author's name, and then I might need to put the year, and I might need to put a page range. But trying to find all this information on the fly while you're typing and in the flow of typing, it breaks your flow, and then you may end up giving up on the assignment that afternoon or whatever, right? Now, a suggestion I have for this is to put the author's first name. So let's say the author's first name in this case, for this particular one, for the festival and special event management text, you just might put event management and Johnny Allen. You might not even put that, you might just put Johnny Allen. Alright? And then leave the bracket. Alright? And continue typing. And then you go on and you do another reference, and it might be the warfarin reference by Badur, so you put in Badur's name. And then blah, blah, you go along, and then there might be a thing with forward in it. Alright? And what this does is keep your flow of writing going. And you might go, but Tim, that's not the actual in-text reference. Well, am I here to show you how cool Microsoft Word can be, even though it's a very frustrating program at times. When you get to the end of your typing and you've put all these little sort of first names in brackets, hit Control H. And what this will bring up is a little toolbar called Find and Replace. Now I can tell this, right? So before you do this, you want to come back to RefME. And you want to export the list. And you want to go to this here, and you want the list of citations, quotes, and annotations. This is what you want here. So you copy it, bring it over to your Word document, and paste it so that you've got it there. And everywhere I've got Johnny Allen, I want Word to find it and replace it with this, with the in-text citation that RefME developed for me. So I'm going to tell it, find Johnny Allen in the brackets and replace it with Allen, O'Toole, and Harris. And you can go find next, and it'll find it. And then you go replace, and it will replace your in-text reference. Now, the reason why I say this is good is because when you're typing, you're never going, you may, if you use the author's full name, like, this might be J. Ford, and this is S. Badur, you never type and write an author's first name. Okay, so if you put in the whole name like this, and you're saying, oh, but Badur says this, and Allen says this, and Ford says this in their referencing, or in their text, then if you accidentally put that in, then Word will find it and replace it. So if you put in the full initial and last name, you won't confuse Word. So then I'm going to come here and go S. Badur. And then I'm going to come to my list, and I'm going to find the reference that I need, which is here, Badur, Cameron, and Battistella. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it in here. And then I'm just going to go replace. And it will replace what I had as just S. Badur with the entire in-text reference. Now you can imagine if you use the same reference 3 or 4 times, this will change all of them as long as you are consistent. As long as every time you type, you use Johnny Allen, that you put this particular, like be very unique about it and keep it that way. If you use that 3 or 4 times throughout, and I'll just prove that fact. So let's say that this is here, and then it's also here, and then it's also at the end. And I tell it to find Johnny Allen in the brackets, and I tell it to replace that with the reference that we had before. You can see now everywhere I had Johnny Allen, it has replaced it with that full in-text reference. So what this will do, as long as you can keep consistent, all right? So if you're going to use Johnny Allen as that reference, keep it as Johnny Allen. If you're then going to use J Ford, keep it as J Ford throughout the entire text. If you're going to use Espadeur, so learn the author's name or the journal's name or the text name that you're using and use that as just your quick in-text reference. And when you finish your assignment, go back and use that find and replace tool to be able to actually update your in-text references rather than having to go back and forth between them and check them, all right, and change them and update them and make sure they're correct. This way you can use RefME's inline citation, which is the absolute correct method of inline citation, as long as you've got the correct reference material and the correct reference and you put the right material in, it'll create the completely correct inline citation. And then you can use that so that it's 100% correct to go back and update your brief in-text reference. Okay, so that's something that I've been passing on to students. It's very important. You will actually lose marks if you do not in-text reference. And if you don't end of text reference correctly, you will lose marks, anywhere between 5 and 10 marks per assignment. Which, you know, it can, if the assignment is 20 marks and they've assigned 5 marks to referencing, you've just lost 25% of your marks. So you can only ever achieve a credit. So getting this right is really important. If it's 40%, then 5 marks is about 12.5% of your overall mark. So if you're happy to lose 10% of your marking all the time, then go ahead and don't reference correctly. But this will add an extra 5 to 10 marks depending on how the teacher has laid out the marking system. If you have any issues, please contact me. This is supposed to be a video for a one-stop shop. I'm going to tack on the mobile video that I've done for this as well and make it all in a one video package so you can sit down, you can watch this over and over again, and yeah, you can see everything that RefME has to offer. So any questions, contact me on Facebook, contact me on email, on the phone, come and see me in my office. And I will talk to you all soon. If you have a question and you'd like me to do a video like this to demonstrate some problem or solve some problem that you're having, please just message me, tell me what your problem is, and I'll make a demonstration video so that it helps not only you but any other student who is having that problem. Talk to you soon. See you later.